10 religions dominate the modern world. Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Sikhism, Buddhism, Taoism, Judaism, Jainism, Baha'i, and indigenous religion like Navajo tradition or the Yoruba of Nigeria. There are plenty of others, of course, but all of them are smaller than these 10. Mormonism, Zoroastrianism, Scientology, Cao Dai, Asatru, and so on. 10 dominate, not one. The largest, Christianity, counts around 30% of the world's population. In the marketplace of religion, there is no real winner. And this after almost 1,400 years of jockeying. Maybe tomorrow one of them will win, right? Yeah, sure. In the meantime, the rest of us want to know what we can do to make the world a less hostile place. What are we going to do with each other? First, no one's going away. Let's accept that. If you're a Christian and you think everyone else should be a Christian, well, that's fine, but it isn't going to happen. We also aren't going to see everyone go back to wherever it is they came from. We're global now, and not global is not an option. So here we are, all mixed together, with no chance of some magic homogeneity all of a sudden breaking forth. And as far as I can see, that leaves us with 3 basic ways we can look at the multitude of religions. I'm calling the first of the 3 paths faith, as in, there's only one legitimate faith. We've often taken the path of intolerance in history. This assumes the I'm right, you're wrong approach to others because after all, there can only be one true faith. The argument goes, clearly we don't have to listen to one another if we already have the full truth. Anything that they might say that differs from what we already believe to be true must by definition be false. So why would we allow ourselves to listen to that? I'm calling the second of the 3 paths multifaith, as in a lot of faiths living in the same place but having little or no impact on one another. We Americans pride ourselves on being a tolerant culture. We show a willingness to live side by side with others, to coexist, but with little or no interpenetration of cultures, beliefs, and ideas. We may take the I'm right, you're not approach, but increasingly we're a nation of we're all right. Your beliefs are true for you and mine are true for me. Of course, this makes little or no sense. It's okay for you to believe that the earth is only 6,000 years old, fails to challenge that rejection of science, and it soon leads to, it's okay for you to deny climate change, and we can all watch the world go to hell in a handbasket. Just as importantly, we're all right is just another way of saying, I don't need you and your ideas. Keep it to yourself. And most importantly, history has shown us that tolerance is a pressure cooker. Sooner or later it explodes again, whether it's riots in Cordoba or the Holocaust or millions of Muslims and Hindus killed in the upheaval of India's partition or police shootings and riots in the streets. Of course, we could take another path. Interfaith is the path that I call engagement. It requires that we cross the lines that exist between us, whether ethnic or cultural, political or religious. It requires a conversation that assumes that the other has something to contribute to our own world, no matter how different our starting places might be. The only real way to set this up is to recognize that no one is right. At least not completely right. Seriously, who wants to really claim that they already possess all knowledge about any aspect of life, including religion? Besides undercutting our tendency to be arrogant, the path of engagement does have history on its side. Our religions have been changing throughout the history of each and every one, and that change has been driven by the encounter of other people, other ways of seeing, other cultural trappings. The stories of all of us are not freestanding tales, any more than Little Red Riding Hood's stands apart from the woodcutters. Our stories all weave together if we tell the big story well. And the place where one part of the big story meets another is where religion is the most exciting. Today, here in the United States, the frontiers that divide religions are not out there, but right here, in our midst. We have an almost unprecedented opportunity to engage. Yeah, almost. The truth is, history has seen these opportunities before. The House of Wisdom in Baghdad in the 9th century, the Court of a Moment of the 10th century, the many stops along the Silk Road a millennium ago, Cairo in the 1200s, the Mughal Empire under Akbar the Great in the 1500s, the Parliament of the World's Religions in 1893 and its follow-up, the World Council of Faiths, and more recently the Pluralism Project out of Harvard and the Interfaith Youth Corps. Each of these historical moments shows us a different face of engagement. In Baghdad, the caliphs valued the pursuit of knowledge, all knowledge, science, mathematics, philosophy. Al-Ma'mun held to a Mutazilite Islam that believed that all knowledge pointed to the one God. In Al-Andalus, the sharing was realized in the culture, the foods, the music, the clothes, the language, the poetry. And at the Parliament of the World's Religions, religion itself became the centerpiece. We have many possibilities behind and before us. In Baghdad, Cordova, India, the opportunity passed. Or, to be more accurate, it was destroyed by religious conservatives. But the window opened by the Parliament of the World's Religions is still open among us. And now? Now we can't survive if we fail. So, start the conversation with that guy at work, with that woman on the bus, or the cashier at the mini-mart. Engage the world one person at a time. And with every new, respectful, and substantial conversation you have with someone, the $255 you invested in this course multiplies 1,000-fold. It becomes money spent saving the world.